My name is Jerry. My age is 56. My husband was a jerk. People call her Maria. She's 51 and has 5 children from a previous marriage. You people will laugh at me and say, dude, you effed up big time, no way would I touch that lady with a phone pole. I did that, why? I have no answers. I might have been thinking with my dick instead of my intellect. Please do not judge my actions. I've made mistakes like everyone else. Assuming you laughed at me and called me a simp, let's continue my story. Things will get interesting. I work at a local bank and was divorced. My first wife was a pain and we divorced because we were incompatible in bed. I wanted lots of activity, she wanted less. We split after 5 years of struggle. As my father's pre-marriage asset, I kept the house. I made sure we have a prenup. My father taught me money safety. A friend introduced me to Maria. She was 44 and divorced. We clicked immediately and decided to meet again. Passionate things started following the second meeting. I did her in parking. Yes, second meeting. Many of these meetings were great. I liked that I knew she had 5 kids. Lovely kids. I never had kids and assumed this was my family. Dated for a year. Dated means drilled extensively. I proposed marriage to her to my satisfaction. We married quickly in a modest ceremony after she accepted. I ensured a prenup. She had some tantrums, but I stood firm. No prenup, no marriage. You add nothing to this marriage and take nothing away. Our first 3 years were great. Wonderful honeymoon and lots of drilling. I lived all my fantasies. We did it everywhere in the home and Maria was great. The trouble began when Maria grew bored with housewifery. I suggested she get a career or hobbies. She did none. She joined TikTok. I was fine as long as the house was clean. Waiting kids and me pleased. A few weeks later, she learned new feminist and philosophical views. The meaning of life. Why are we here? Why should women stay home while men work? I must find all the bullcrap questions you can ask. Though she raised these questions repeatedly, I tried to deflect them. However, one day as I was relaxing in my pool with a glass of Jack Daniel, she asked again. I wanted to answer her now. I was done. I told her, I'll tell you this, but promise not to tell anyone else. Listen attentively. Why are we here? Have sex and procreate. That's why life exists, to multiply. Chickens to huge buffalo breed, sex and multiply. Your solution must be philosophical. Why are you here? You decide. Become someone and become something. Lead by example or die comfortably anonymously. Your option. Choose why you're here. Why men work and women stay home. Many women work. You alone stayed home. Google yourself to find yourself. Return and act if nothing appears. Return to the kitchen and make me a sandwich. She left the pool without returning. She probably didn't like my answers. I didn't like her question, I thought. More turmoil followed a few days later. I had brought several buddies over and we were having fun. She repeated the questions again and got an odd response. My buddies are like me. We do not think about philosophy and are all doers. We implement our ideas and await outcomes. Although my buddies and their spouses disapproved, no one responded or cared. This would make my pals avoid me. I fought her hard that night. I informed her that her queries matter to her but not to others. She must choose her audience before starting a conversation. She resisted. Communication and sex declined. I failed to persuade her to attend counseling. She was stubborn as usual. She and her kids how? Not excellent. Say, her kids found solace in me, but avoided talking to her. Simple parenting was her style. You follow my instructions and behave the same way. That's not how kids grow. You make miniature use, plant like kids. Allow them to grow. Just monitor them and correct them when they misbehave. She controlled everything. She also tried to dominate me, but I know when to listen. We started sleeping in separate rooms since our disagreements have gotten worse. I told a close friend. He listened and replied honestly. To rectify things, she would have accepted counseling. He confirmed my assessment that she was distressed. As she cannot control my life or get her way, that ended it. She was getting counseling or divorce. I asked her about counseling, but she said nothing was wrong. Lost my mind. We sleep in separate rooms and don't talk. I informed her. No rent is due at my house. Please stay since you're my wife. Leave if you don't want to play my wife. She went to her bedroom furious. Alternatively, hired a divorce lawyer. I didn't return home for 5 days. Both Maria and the kids never phoned. I expected the kids to call, but not Maria. Maybe I was wrong to expect that. I was not their father. Maybe the world is founded on facts, not feelings and assumptions. My attorney and I delivered Maria the divorce papers at my house on the 6th day. She started a massive argument in front of the attorney. She called me names and cursed at the attorney for being there. I watched the attorney nod and recognized that I'd done the proper thing. After Maria calmed down, my attorney advised her to pack and depart in 2 days. Where will kids go? She asked. 7 days to leave. Leave in 2 days and locate a new place to stay with your kids. She begged me to let her remain because she has nowhere else. I stayed put. My father owned a different flat, so I let her move in for the kids. Since I had a prenup, I didn't care. After we divorced, I told her to leave. Dissolution took almost 4 years. I finally had freedom. Was she trying to return? Multiple times. Every time. I rejected her. A TikTok video from a buddy arrived shortly after the divorce. It ended after 4.5 years. No more. As a divorcee, I knew I would experience varied feelings and attempted to prepare for them. I don't know how you prepare. I feel like someone punched me in my stomach, gut, and removed my air. No, I'm not crying over our breakup. Nothing should have happened like it did, so I'm sobbing. I feel sad that it will affect our grandchildren and future generations. I loathe that. I loathe that. God, I wish I hated him. I wish I hated that man, but I don't. I'll be okay. I'll be okay, but I'm frightened. I'm afraid. This matters. Leave my 20-year-old house and construct a life not meant to be alone. He was intended to have it. Don't worry. Be not confused. My life is good and blessed, but hard. Finding a new home, possibly in a different city or state, is a lot. But I'll do it. Watch and see. We'll be better than ever. Friends showed sympathy, but not the support she wanted. A few days later, she returned when asked if I was a decent husband. We knew, to be honest. Their identities were clear early on. They showed. I know this because people can't disguise their true colors for long. I have to be honest with myself, which I don't like, because I have to see all my mistakes and the things I did that lead to my divorce and breakup. Since I'm breaking this trend, I'll tackle the hard thing. I refuse to maintain this pattern my whole life. So from now, instead than talking about what occurred or was done, which makes me sound like a victim when I'm not, I'll focus on my role in things and what was broken inside me that allowed them to happen. I knew. I knew not to marry pretty long ago. I did this despite knowing better. Why? Fear? Yeah, what worried me? Worried about being alone. I thought this man would save me as a single mother of 5. Indeed, he did. He did. By letting that happen, I became consumed by this man and lost myself. The previous few years have been spent attempting to figure out who I am and why I do what I do. Someone questioned her parenting skills days later. I don't know what a bad parent is, so I wouldn't call myself one. I was more like a crazy, controlling bitch then. I think that describes me well. Thank God my children are psychologically stable and can forgive me for so much since they realize I've changed when they were growing up. No longer mentally unstable or controlling. The bitch part, sometimes. I found another bird who fit my vibes. Know what I mean? This time, no marriage, just living. Maria was her normal bitch after hearing the term. She phoned me often and called me names. I was initially upset, but now I like these calls. You know, you bother someone more when they're mad at you. I did that. I shared some great Thailand holiday photos with my new birdie. She adjusted her strategy and posted another video. The person moving in after me should read this. Congratulations first. Your new home will be lovely. It needs work. It needs a new roof and other repairs. He'll do it to impress you. We did lots when I moved in. I just want you to know that every room in this house will remember me. It is. I hope you don't have trouble with that, like your shared bedroom. We did lots in that bedroom. Oh my God, I can't talk about this on TikTok or I'll get banned. If you wish to travel from that room to another and make your bedroom, we did it there also. In every part of this house, kitchen, diner, living room, gaming room, that pool table will hold more weight than you imagine. I'm not being petty, you just need to understand that a lot of memories are built here. It will be painted, so you can make new memories with new paint, floors and stuff, but don't be surprised if he thinks of me sometimes. You'll love the pool this summer. If you're worried about us being in that pool, have him dig something new. Also a diving board, but the slide. No girl, you're fine. We were too large for the slide. You'll appreciate the boat this summer. Memories. That was her reply. Her new low was below the belt. It strained my relationship with my new birdie. I requested her repair from my lawyer. After a new video, I knew he was adept at such things. I spend a lot of time alone, yet am not lonely. I like being alone. Today's different. Recent days have been different. I must shrug this off. I'll get through this. I usually do. However, I relaxed and knew better. Will avoid that error. Lesson learned. She no longer posts. Despite my silent and excruciating poop hole agony, I'm enjoying my time with the birdie.